22 minutes after the hour. Well, joining us now is former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey. Nice to see you. Also a federal prosecutor. Appreciate you being here. Just listening to Mills's report, just want to get your reaction to what's going on here.
Well, I think my first reaction is listening to the officials from Chicago and the comments from Pritzker and some of these other things. What they're really doing is trying to disrupt ICE and continue to demonize the agents, and they're seeking to have incidents where they could say the ICE agents use excessive force and things like that, even when they did not, because they're trying to delegitimize them, meaning the ICE agents, and their mission. But the overall goal of the Democrats, and you've seen it going on in Washington, is to keep illegal aliens in the country. They want them to have every benefit that American citizens get, and they will do anything to prevent ICE from deporting people. That's what's going on here. And J.D. Pritzker wants to be president, so he has to be in full-on open borders, and he has to oppose Donald Trump at every turn. And it's unfortunate that ICE agents are put at greater risk because of it, and the citizens of not just Chicago, but the rest of the country are put at greater risk because of it as well.
Well, some officials over at the Broadview facility, as you saw that, they're in this war of words with ICE over whether agents are too aggressive. Do you think they are? What's it going to take to get these tensions to go down?
I don't think they're too aggressive. And as we've seen for years and years, anytime there's one of these situations where law enforcement's accused of being overly aggressive, once the full story comes out, it's rarely the case it was originally reported. But, you know, all of these protesters, it's totally fine to protest. Everyone's fine with that. But what they are doing is trying to disrupt ICE in doing their mission, as well as putting them in danger. And that's not acceptable. And that's the issue. So if these local officials actually want tensions to go down, maybe they should say ICE has a legitimate job to do. They're enforcing federal law, and they should maybe even cooperate with ICE trying to get the most serious criminals out of the community. But the shocking thing is they won't. And, you know, they're full on, they full on support sanctuary cities, which, as you know, and your viewers know, they keep criminals, meaning people who are charged with criminals in Illinois, in the country, even after they're illegal aliens, and they fight to keep them in. So if they want to tone things down, they should be responsible. They should recognize federal law should be enforced. If they have an issue with federal law, Governor Pritzker should run for president and say, I'm the open borders president, and pass some legislation, say open borders and amnesty. But instead, he's doing the end run, which the Biden administration was doing, and that puts people at risk. And everything about it is really shameful and dishonest from their side of it.
Yeah, we're seeing how political this all is. You've also raised the alarm over these ICE tracking apps, and ICE blocked the one that I just mentioned. The Apple is pulling it down from the App Store, and also other similar apps. How dangerous are these in your eyes, and does more action need to be taken against them?
Yeah, these are extremely dangerous. And when you think of these app stores like Google and Apple, they have these terms of service that they can't be used for violence or breaking the law. But there's no other purpose for these apps other than for violence and breaking the law, because on one, they're helping illegal aliens stay in the country illegally, and that's alien harboring. Two, they're putting ICE agents at danger by alerting people where they are, so allowing people to either get away from them, resist arrest, or harm them. So everything about them is it's utterly disgusting that these were ever on there, but they put people in enormous risk, because think about it. If you're an agent going in to make an arrest, and that person, you think they don't know you're coming, and they actually do know you're coming, they might prepare to harm you, to harm other people with you. So it's alarming that these have even been going on, but hopefully they're being shut down, because there's no legitimate lawful purpose for them.
Jonathan Fahey, appreciate your time today. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.